Speaking of Ready Set, though, I'm Alive, I'm Dreaming. That thing is a decade old now.
She's got a love like whoa. Girls got a love like whoa.
I know. Crazy.
Hey, what's up, guys? Nick Major here with idobi Radio, about to hop on a video call with my buddy Jordan Witzigreuter. You know him as the Ready Set in his new project, Onlychild. I want to chat with him about Onlychild, what his 2020 has been like, and plenty more, I'm sure. We haven't caught up in a while, so stick around, stay tuned, and let's hop on this chat with Jordan. How the hell are you? It is November. The year seems to be gone and wasted. As of the time of us talking, the election was last night, so stuff is just all over the place. But how's your 2020 been, dude?
Not bad. In some ways, kind of not too different. I'm still like doing a bunch of production and writing stuff, so in that sense, it's kind of like I'm still like in front of my computer all day, just working on stuff. But it's overall, weird. And, I don't think it's anyone's favorite year.
No, yeah, but you've obviously been busy and productive, putting out some new tracks and stuff, which has been awesome. And I think maybe the last time I saw you was at your first Onlychild show, because I filmed a video for you there, and I think that might have been it. And that was like July of last year of 2019 at the Sayers Club. Did you have big plans for that band this year in regards to shows? I know you guys did it. I know you did a show at the Roxy, I think, with Breathe Carolina, and then the world shut down.
Yeah.
So what was your 2020 shaping up to be?
I had a handful of shows kind of throughout the year. We had 2 in New York that we were supposed to do. I think it was like a week after everything shut down. So that obviously didn't happen. And then there was going to be a whole bunch more booked like throughout the country. It was going to be me and Breathe Carolina again, but that kind of didn't happen. So the hope is that whenever things do start to like kind of reopen or whatever, we can sort of get back out there and do that. But yeah, it was definitely going to be a lot more shows.
So have you put out 2 songs? Is that correct during quarantine?
Yep. I put out one, I think, in May. And then the new one, Thank Me Later, that just came out a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and so the one back in May was Chardonnay and Tangerine. There was a music video for that one, too. The music video, from what I could tell, it was kind of like a quarantine-created video. It looked like it was kind of pieced together, stuff that you filmed, stuff that I think Ryan probably put together. And how did that all come to be? Because I love to see that you're still at least releasing during this downtime.
Yeah, that one was funny, actually, because he was kind of, Ryan, who does most of my videos and stuff, was like, hey, send me like just like record yourself on like photo booth, just like singing through the song like twice, like just against like a white background. I was like, okay, sick. And I sent him that. And then like 3 days later, he just sent me this like thing. It was like, here's a video. I was like, okay. Thanks. Like, I didn't even really know that was going to be the plan, which is awesome. He just like kind of came up. He just had all these like shots from like trips and all these other things, and he just kind of like spliced them all together to make this like visual thing. So it's pretty cool. It's definitely like a not on my end, very not planned out for him to do that, but I was like, this is amazing. Thank you.
No, that was awesome. And that was perfect because it gave you a song and a video to release. And then the world, as we've kind of started to learn the coronavirus and understand how we can safely get back into doing things like music videos or more small scale stuff, you guys did collab again for a Thank Me Later video, which was much more of like a proper actual music video. So when did that come to be? Because the music, that looked slick as hell when I saw that. I was like, oh wow, this is a lot different than Chardonnay and Tangerine. This is like a real music video.
Every time you get too close, my conscience gets in the way, gets in the way. I would rather keep you out of my head than under my skin. Hold you back, it's you.
Yeah, thanks. That one, that was definitely a lot more planned out. That one we kind of went a lot more in on like the concept of like kind of making a storyline that's going to tie in with like kind of songs to come after that one. And we went to Big Bear and got this like cabin that was pretty like far out in the woods. So we just had this like massive like expanse of woods right behind the house that we could just set up like all those like flags and all the like prop stuff and all that. And that was fun because that was probably like the most in-depth Onlychild video that I've done, because a lot of the stuff like we'll just go out and spend like a few hours just filming stuff, and I'm always kind of just like, do you think you have enough? Like, can you make something with this? And he's like, yeah, I got it. And this time it was a lot more of like, here's like a shot list, here's like exactly what we're doing. So it was kind of fun because it had been a while since I'd done a video like that. Like, I don't think I had done a really planned out, like scripted type of video since like probably like early Ready Set stuff, just because like, I don't know, I haven't really done like too many video things because I'm like kind of, they're like, they make me super anxious to do them, but I'm glad I do them. Like, he gets me to, do them and make them cool, and I like trust his like vibe with everything.
That's good though. You guys, it seems like you guys have good teamwork, and he forces you to do the stuff you don't like, the good music videos.
Yeah.
So that's good.
And it's good because I always like how they turn out, and I'm like, yeah, I guess I should do them. I don't know. I like just making the songs, and I like playing shows, but all the like photo and video and like social stuff, I'm always kind of like, I'm just not good at this stuff, but it's part of the thing.
So right now, stuff that's dropping, it's kind of as singles, but you said this video is potentially kind of going to be intertwined with other videos, potentially kind of on a linear scale. Is that just the video side of stuff? Is there going to be an EP or something that ties any of these songs together that you can say anything about?
Yeah. There's I'm not exact. I haven't fully landed on how many songs it'll be, but it'll be like another like sort of congruent bundle of songs, more or less like an EP, kind of like the last one. And with the last one, with that one, it was kind of like there was sort of like an underlying storyline, and this more or less I think will be somewhat of like a continuation of that. Maybe more so of like a theme of the whole thing than like a real like narrative per se. But it's interesting because like when I start working on that stuff, I'll find myself kind of like accidentally writing the stuff into this like sort of like storyline a little bit, and then Ryan will take that and be like, here's how we can like add like a visual narrative to it too. So it's very cool. It's like nice to kind of have somebody who like gets what I'm doing, and then I trust like what he's doing with it. And
Have you ever written an album that's linear like that, that's kind of a ongoing story?
I have not, and it's kind of been something that I wanted to do for a while, but at the same time it's like I don't want it to be like a thing that you necessarily need to listen to like in a linear type of way. Like, I want it to be like, songs that can stand alone but still kind of have like a continuity to them.
And I guess this is where it's exciting that you started Onlychild, because it can allow you to do something like this for the first time or something. But what has it been like starting this new project? Because you were so attached to the Ready Set for so long, and I know that'll always be your baby, but having a fresh name and kind of being able to explore some new sounds and other styles, how has it been in the short time frame that, from what I know, that this project has been around?
It's been cool. It's definitely been like a thing that I think like it isn't an immediate, it wasn't a thing where I wanted to be like changing all my Ready Set socials to like, now this is like Onlychild, like here's the new thing. I wanted it to be a thing that was kind of like existing on its own separately without needing to kind of like ride off the back of that. Just kind of like for my own, like, I don't know, I was just like curious like how it would go. And it's like very small, and it's not like necessarily new anymore, but it feels new to me. And I don't know, I kind of like that it's like a very like quiet thing for now. Just because like the one thing I didn't want was to start it and have it be like, Ready Set guy is doing another thing, and then have it still be more or less like about the Ready Set, which is like a thing that I'll inevitably make more Ready Set stuff at some point. But I just like think with this, it's kind of cool to be able to do something that doesn't have an expectation of like what it was in the past or like what it is hypothetically supposed to be like. And the last couple Ready Set EPs that I did anyway were sort of leaning towards this like more or less sort of style a little bit. Which I don't think necessarily is what I want that project to be. So I think whenever I do go back to start doing that again, I think a different perspective on like how to do the thing that I think makes the Ready Set cool without making it seem like Onlychild. And it's kind of like a funny thing for me to think about, because I'm like, yeah, it's still just like me either way. But in my head, I have this like very clear divide that I kind of have made, I think.
So you kind of know what style would be more for Ready Set, what style, sound, whatever would be more for Onlychild, and I think that's great. You have two outlets to kind of explore both of them now.
Yeah, I think the Ready Set's a little less gloomy than Onlychild.
But speaking of Ready Set, though, I'm Alive, I'm Dreaming, that thing is a decade old now.
She's got a love like whoa. Girls got a love like whoa.
Which
I know. Crazy.
I cannot believe. It makes me feel old. It reminds me of how fast time flies by, because damn, the entire 2010s era has gone by now, and everyone is always doing like anniversary stuff. Did you ever plan to do, because that album, it was so impactful for your name and your career, did you ever plan on doing any sort of celebratory thing?
I didn't really, and I think it's probably because I'm like maybe a little bit more like self-deprecating about it than I should be. Because in my head, I was like, around that time period, everything was so, because of like the radio stuff and all that, very like Love Like Whoa centered. So in my head, that album itself didn't really resonate in the way that like that song did. So in my head, like, I don't really know how many people really like connected to it, but also I kind of like lose perspective on that because of not having toured in a long time and not having played a bunch of Ready Set shows. Like, you lose that like physical connection of like, oh, this is something people care about. So like when you're away from that for a long time and you're just like online making stuff or whatever, I kind of like forget that. So no, and I don't know. I mean, I like that album. I'm very happy that it like
It happened.
gave me a career, more or less. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. There's something I probably could do, but I'm also like really, I get really skeptical about like how I act with like nostalgic stuff. Like I'm always really afraid of like this thing where I'm like trying to like play up the past, like in a way that seems like trying. And there's a way to like do those like 10-year anniversary things that I think would be really cool. Like if you're a band who's been like touring constantly and still constantly putting stuff out without taking any breaks, and you do a 10-year thing, that's like sick. Like, of course do that. But I think for me, like having kind of slowed down in like 2016, it would, to me, I'm like, I don't want to like just reemerge as like, I'm the guy from 10 years ago. Here I am.
Yeah, it just kind of looks like, oh, okay, 10 years, look at me. Remember when I did this? Woo!
Yeah, that's like my biggest, like, I freaks me out to I don't come across as if I am trying to do that. But yeah, I'm glad people liked it. And it is weird that it's been like so long. It's strange.
It's only a matter of time. With the way that TikTok is going, it's blowing up so many songs from back then. Love Like Whoa, just wait. It's going to become the hottest song on TikTok. I've already seen a couple TikToks with it. And then you'll be destined to do a stadium tour for the 10-year anniversary. But I think, did I also see that there was a, like, in the past few months, almost on the 10-year anniversary side, I'll Be Nothing Without Your Love had a B-side release that had a couple songs on it?
I'm in the place where you found me. I hid away trying to chase down love, but I became my surroundings. Yeah, she said you're disappearing actors getting old.
Yeah, it did. I put that on Hopeless, and who I love them, and I didn't know that was coming out because I haven't been on Hopeless since I think 2016. And somebody was like, "Hey, this B-side thing came out on Twitter," and I was like, "Oh, sick!" And I was actually excited because I like a couple of those songs a lot, so it's actually like nice. I love that,
dude. I gotta say, anytime whatever the project is, and I know you're involved with it, every time like it gets to the chorus, I can't help but like laugh because it's always so catchy and so good. And how the hell did you just become such like a good songwriter? And like you also do all the production of your stuff, I know. And so how did that all begin for you? Because my God, you've become quite the efficient musician.
Thank you. That's extremely nice. The songwriting thing, I think, well, the funny thing is like when I first started doing it, like any writing stuff, it was for the Ready Set, and my main agenda was like just to make some stuff that would like that I would think was cool and that I thought like maybe some people will like this, and like then I can in turn go on tour and like build a fan base that way. So like my whole agenda was just like I want to play shows, like I want to just do that whole thing. And then actually really focusing on the songwriting stuff came kind of like after I had done that, and I started coming out to LA to work with people. And I was like, oh, this is actually really cool. And I worked with like a whole bunch of writers and just kind of like learned a bunch of things from them. And then just kind of went from there and just like figured out how to like, you know, take an idea that's cool and like edit it into something that like is really concise and makes sense to me. And then as far as the production stuff goes, like I had always kind of done the Ready Set production stuff to like an extent, and then I would like go work with another producer to finish it. But then in 2016, out of this like kind of necessity, I was like off tour, and I was like, I can't just like sit around and like wait to tour all the time. So I was just like spending all of my time just trying to like learn everything I could about like production and mixing and like mastering and all that stuff. So it just became this like obsessive like topic that I was just like spending all my time on. And then because of that, I ended up like producing a bunch of sessions with people and writing with a whole bunch of people. And then just by doing that like every day for a few years, it was like, yeah, this is, I guess, the thing that I kind of do now. It just kind of like fell into that path a little bit. But now it's like, I think it's really fun just to like take something that's like a blank page of like ideas and stuff, and then, you know, within a day or whatever, turn it into like a fully finished, like fleshed out kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And I'm sure you have so many songs that have been completed. Because do you just do it all from home? You got a home studio that you work at?
Yes. Yeah. So I don't go anywhere, which is sort of why a lot of this year ended up being like, in some sense, like normal feeling, in that I'm still in the same room all the time, like doing the same thing, but I just don't have the option of going to do something fun after. So that's
there's no choice. Just like you were saying, it's like you can't feel bad about not touring or whatever else, because there's literally no choice now. But hopefully once the world opens back up in another 10 or 20 years, you'll be ready to hit the road and do some fun stuff, because this music industry has just been hit hard.
Yeah, it's insane. I feel so bad. Like so many of my friends who were just like for the past like decade have been doing like, you know, like drum teching or like tour managing and stuff, are just like, what do you do at this point? Like, what's the move? And I think like, I don't know, there's like some new avenues, I guess, with like the streaming shows and all that, but it's still just like the lack of consistency, I think, is kind of ruining a lot of people's like livelihood. And it's very, very disheartening, but you know, hopefully, I can't even like guess what like the thing will be.
I know, but I hope you got to look into doing some live stream stuff. At idobi, I want to see if we can somehow have artists stop by like our studio and like do live stream shows from there, where people could do like Q&As, because we have all the cameras and all the audio. I think that would be cool, because the higher quality the live streams are, the cooler they are, because I think it's dope when people are doing the acoustic stuff, but doing the polished ones that I've seen a lot of bands doing lately, is that anything that you've looked into or that you've been interested in trying to do?
Yeah, I definitely want to. I thought about I might do some like just like kind of like live music video release things as well, which is less of like a real like live type situation. But I definitely do want to do some kind of streaming thing that's not just like acoustic, because I don't really think the acoustic thing for Onlychild like works in the way that it does with like the Ready Set. So I would prefer to do like a nice, like, you know, nicely produced kind of live stream thing. So let me know and I will.
Yeah, we'll see. We got to all see what's possible. But, dude, I appreciate you chatting. I don't know if there's anything else that you want to discuss, but I wanted to just kind of pick your brain about the new tracks, about what you have been up to, and just how your 2020's been going, because it has been a wild year, that's for sure.
Cool. It's good catching up. Glad you're doing well.
Take it easy. All right, everybody. Jordan Witzigreuter, a.k.a. Onlychild, a.k.a. The Ready Set, a busy, multi-musically talented man. Hope you guys enjoyed the chat. If you did, be sure to give the video a like, leave a comment, tag a friend who is a fan of the man. Be sure to subscribe to idobi Radio, because we are constantly putting out so much content with all of your favorite artists. I'm, once again, Nick Major. Catch my radio show, The Nick Major Show, live on idobi Radio every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Nick_Major, TikTok at Nick.Major, because I am funny on there at times. I promise you this. Stay healthy, stay safe, keep your mouth covered when you are going out, wash your hands, and see you next time.